The headlines focus on the growing violence between the new Egyptian government and the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt. But the mainstream media is not really talking about the persecution of Christians in the country. The Muslim Brotherhood has torched nearly 24 Coptic Christian churches in Egypt, and they set fire to a Christian youth center on Friday. Last week, a 10-year-old Christian girl was shot and killed in the street, simply walking home from Bible class. My next guests know all too well what it's like being a persecuted Christian in a predominantly Muslim country. They're both born to Muslim families but converted to Christianity. They were both arrested in 2009 and jailed in Tehran's notorious Evin prison. They were sentenced to death. That's after witnessing the horrors of the prison. They were finally freed after continued international pressure and given asylum in the U.S. Their story is told in the remarkable and compelling book, Captive in Iran. Joining me are Maryam Rostampour and Marzieh Amiri Zada, and it's so nice to have both of you here. When I think of the fact both of you were jailed and given death sentences, that you were even here is nothing short of a miracle. Why were you put in prison? And Marzieh, I'll let you start. Why were you put in prison and given a death sentence?
We had a mission in Iran, and we were distributing 20,000 New Testaments in Tehran and a few other cities. Also, we were evangelizing Iranian people every day. Whenever we went for shopping, eating at restaurant, or doing our chores, we were talking to people and handing them a Bible as a gift. Because as you know, in Iran, there is just a false and distorted version of Bible, and people, they don't have any access to the real Bible. That's why we had this passion in our hearts to put the real Bible in people's hands. And also we had two house churches. One was for prostitutes and the other one was for young people in our own apartment. As you know, all these activities are illegal in Iran because no one is allowed to promote any religion except Islam. And some people had reported about us, and the Iranian government had found about our activities, and they arrested us in 2009.
You must have been totally frightened. I mean, you're arrested. And it's not like you murdered anyone. You haven't committed any act of violence. You've given out Bibles. And for that, you're given a death sentence?
Yes. Actually, the first day we were so afraid because we are two human beings, and it was like a big shock for us. And when they transferred us to the security police and they threatened us to physical torture, we were so scared, and we just prayed for each other. The only thing that helped us survive that situation was the presence of Holy Spirit with us.
If you had renounced your Christian faith and said you apologize, would the death sentence have been removed from you?
Yes, and sometimes they told us that even you can write one sentence that you convert from Christianity to Islam, and we will release you immediately.
But you didn't do that. Under the sheer knowledge that you would be put to death, you did not renounce your Christian faith. Why not?
Yes, because we both had many experience with Jesus, and we are not just converted to Christian religion. And we are both in love with Jesus. We had seen many miracles. We met him, we touched his love. And because of all our personal relationship with him, we couldn't we couldn't deny Jesus, because denying him, it was like denying ourselves. And also, Jesus in Bible says, if you wish to follow me, you must pick up your own cross and follow me. And as a follower of Jesus, it was very important for us to pass through this test with victory. And also, it was an honor for us to suffer for our faith.
You know, I think of all the American Christians I know that at the least little bit of trouble, someone just says something that is unpleasant to them, they all but renounce Jesus. You guys are willing to die, and you're not going to renounce him. And it's such I think, a powerful wake-up call to those of us who live with this illusion that everybody in the world can go ahead and worship like they want to. The Quran is given to people in your country of Iran, but they can't read it because they speak Farsi and they're given an Arabic Bible. So there's a wide opening, isn't there, for the Christian faith?
And we had this problem from our childhood because we couldn't read the Quran. It was in Arabic. As you said, our language is Farsi. And most people in Iran do not know anything about Islam or the Quran because it's in Arabic. And they are tired of the wrong rules of Islam, and they are so thirsty to hear about Christianity and the message of Jesus, because his message is about grace and love, which is completely different from the teachings of the Quran.
There was a lot of pressure from the international community to help you. Do you feel God just intervene in your lives to get you out so that as you come to the U.S. for asylum, you can get this message out and tell people of your experience and the opportunities that are there?
Yes, because of all this international pressure on Iranian government, they had to release us, and also many Christians, they were supporting us either by praying and sending letters to prison, which made a huge difference, and their behaviors completely changed. And also we heard that even Pope from Vatican sent the letters to Iranian government, and all because of all these activities and pressure, the Iranian government had to release us.
Well, I hope people will get the book and read it. It's just a remarkable story. I want to say what you have done to encourage me and challenge me when I think about the two of you being placed under a death sentence in an Iranian prison, and you still would not renounce your faith. It really does bring, I think, a real conviction to all of us who have it awfully easy in the United States. Thank you.